Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st Millennium. I am Inquisitor Caveat Ventus, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is my report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesys adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Laura Elizabeth as Lyric, and Tyler Hewitt as Alto. My report shows that the Inquisitorial Band have left their destroyed shuttle and set off for Tren's spaceport. Valentyne determined their relative possession. Lyric refused to allow Alto to scout before she was won over, and Alto found xenos tigers when one jumped on him. Can they survive the battle after Alto screams? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
An audio log from the Treatise on Native Species of Tren by Administratum Philos Tremaine. What you need to understand about the collops is, though they are an admittedly fearsome species, quite quick, quite deadly if you're not paying attention. They are truly a unique and beautiful animal. The way they use the sense receptors on their tails to find each other and their prey is truly unique to any xenos I have studied, and the speed and ferocity that they can achieve with their additional appendages is truly a sight to be seen. Admittedly, the double jaw situation is a bit confusing from a biological standpoint, but I have no doubt that with the establishment of the garden, we will be able to study this in greater detail and learn the secrets of this extraordinary species. What? No, of course we shouldn't wipe them out. No, I don't care if there's... You know what? We've had this argument. The Callops stay, and we shall enjoy them. Roll for initiative, please. Initiative is a cool check with no bonuses, no difficulty. Just roll and let me know what you get, and I will tell you how things go down.
3 successes for Valentyne. Statistically, very unlikely.
2 successes, 1 advantage for Alto.
1 success and 1 advantage for Lyric.
Okay, so 2, 1 for Alto. I'm sorry, Lyric, what was yours?
1 success, 1 advantage.
And Ryan?
3 success.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my own stats, so I didn't pay attention to yours. One moment as I look at my stats. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Lyric, as you grit your teeth at the surprise shriek of the surprise shriek of surprise from Alto, Inquisitor Valentyne, you're already on your gun. This is not your first rodeo. Also, you aren't quite as attached to these individuals, so in a lot of ways, the bait was taken. What do you do?
Okay, Valentyne wouldn't fire because it's a pistol and mass reactive rounds don't do well near people you don't want to shoot. So I think what he would actually do is he'd weapons in hand, activate his refractor field, and then he'd trigger his chainsword, kind of holding it up over his head, and activate Eugene and just yell, "I come for you, Xenos, and at the end of the day, the Emperor is with me." The main attempt is to try to be a big, loud predator with shining shit around it and a lot of noise.
It is successful. One moment. Yeah. So the one on top of Alto, its sort of low growl turns to a sharp, almost bird call, sort of weirdly in echo, because it seems to be alternating between its top and bottom jaw. Immediately the trees begin to rustle and you see snow kind of beginning to fall, and 3 more leap down the trees. Or should I say, sorry, two leap down and one continues to move amongst the trees. But they're all doing that classic kind of animal, deadly cat predator thing, where they start to just arc out and move towards you, Valentyne.
Great. And I think he'd say over his shoulder to Lyric as he like steps forward, "Good, I'll keep them focused on me. If you could start shooting them, that would be beautiful."
Yeah.
And
Alto.
then he's just basically waiting to get charged.
Alto.
Am I still pinned?
It has stepped off and is beginning to move towards Valentyne.
Man, Alto's pretty fucking scared right now. I think he needs to take a minute to like take in his situation and like really appreciate what is going on. So a creature landed on him, knocking him to the ground, and then was kind of had its attention pulled elsewhere. So I think his first move is to like roll over and kind of scramble for his las carbine and like shakily take aim. But if you're describing this situation and it's happening kind of concurrently, he also now notices that there are like other creatures.
Yep.
So I think he's just going to hold. And if I may, I don't know how this works in this system, but I'd like to like delay my action. Like I want to just like line up a sight on this creature as it's stalking towards Valentyne, but I don't want to shoot yet. I think he's probably a little too overwhelmed.
Understood. So I think the way we'll play this then is there isn't really a delay action situation available in Genesys, or if there is, I'm just unfamiliar with it. I also just kind of hate delayed actions. So I think instead what we'll say, Tyler, is take this as an aim action, which will add a boost dice to when you're able to shoot.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so I'll aim.
Great. And you're aiming at the one that dropped on you that is stalking. So just for visual sake, it's stalking towards Valentyne. There are two kind of flanking it that are edging out but still going in for the pincer, and then there's one moving through the trees.
Okay. So as I understand
up high,
it,
down low, and two clever girls.
yeah.
Yes. The classic configuration.
Okay.
So for ease of my brain, we'll go left, right, and center, and then high.
Okay.
And
so I'm
even if
aiming
the
at
high one drops down, it will still be known as high one.
Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
It did mushrooms earlier. No one saw. Okay, cool. So you begin to aim down your las carbine at the approaching creature. Lyric.
I will go for up high because I think that's the one in my mind that's most threatening to Alto. So I had my needle rifle out because, you know, that's really the best for covering someone at like medium long range. So I am going to hit that fucker. All right. So this is the first time I've shot the needle rifle. So it's going to take a second.
Sure.
Oh, you have a needle rifle.
I have a needle rifle. Yes,
Cool.
that is
Have a
my
needle
rifle.
I only know it as the weapon from Halo 4 or whatever. So.
There are many others like it, but this one is yours.
It's got like a paralytic toxin in it. So,
Jesus.
yay.
Cool.
So what does it look like when I assume you take it out of a duffel bag?
No, it's kind of like been like on my.
Oh, you've had it all along.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was just picturing you with a pistol.
Yeah, I have that too. But that's on my hip. Got to have something on my back.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
all right. It's like a PS2 game where they couldn't render weapons in real time, so you just reach behind yourself and then just pull out like it's the Grand Theft Auto thing. We're just like, oh, out comes the rocket launcher.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so it looks kind of akin to a sniper rifle, but a little bit shorter. So it doesn't have like the super long scope, and it actually has a like a digital targeter on it as well. So instead of like a traditional scope, it's because I mean sometimes you know you gotta just like get bounties that are like really far away.
Is it like a
get
little
'em
view
stealthily.
screen kind of thing?
Kind of. You kind of look through it almost like they're looking through a scope, but it's like,
I think if we were
yeah.
to put it in, at least the way I've seen digital scopes, like a little boxier than a
Yes.
scope, but you still do need to sight it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the digital, it just gives you like predator vision rather than normal
Yeah,
scopy vision.
totes. Okay, so I'm gonna roll. Fuck. I'm scared. Okay. So 4 successes and 2 advantage. So that's gonna be.
Did you add any difficulty to that, Laura?
Oh, so I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't even.
That's
add
fine.
difficulty. I'm
I'll
fucking
roll.
Idiot.
No, it's all good. I didn't give it to you. I was busy thinking about digital scopes that I've bought in Far Cry. I'll roll on my side.
Okay.
So you're at, for that rifle, probably, we'll say 2 purple. I'm going to spend a story point to upgrade to 1 red.
Okay.
So that is 1 failure, 2 threat. Wait, sorry. I'm used to having to Star Wars translate everything. Pointy circle is failure or threat?
Threat. X is failure.
Right.
Oh, dope. Okay, I was right the first time. So from my side of things, 1 failure, 2 threat.
Laura, what did you roll?
I got 4 success, 2 advantage. So that's
3 success, 1 advantage.
3 success, 1 advantage. Okay, so that's 9 damage. And can you roll a resilience check with a difficulty of 5?
1 moment.
Difficulty 5.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I have 1 success, 4 advantage.
Well,
So
that's
not nearly enough.
nope. Well, yeah, so it's like every uncanceled failure is like 1 wound, and every 2 threat is a strain. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't roll. Fuck. I roll. This is my 3rd roll in any of the games we've run. Let me actually find out. Christ. Oh, interesting. I actually succeeded. I had 3 threat, no failures.
okay, you get a point of strain.
Cool. And
Take
how
that,
much,
you space tiger.
how much damage, Laura?
That was 9 damage total.
9 damage. Is that including your successes? No, because you don't know what my... So every success
Adds 1 damage, right?
adds 1 additional damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
so
I had 3 successes.
So you normally do 6
6.
damage?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just wanted to be clear. Make sure you're getting all the damage points in you can.
Yep.
Okay.
These first couple episodes, like, oh, I have to add. We're gonna get better at this, guys, right?
I promise you nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Dumb Scum is any indication, we'll in the series finale we'll still be fucking like counting numbers and being like, what the fuck is a green dice? All right, cool. So the needle shot is ballistic, not
Yes.
energy, correct?
Yeah.
So the needle hits the target. You kind of like pierce the shoulder of the sort of foreleg. So the front left shoulder, and you see the needle sink squarely into it, and immediately you can see the toxins. The fur on these creatures is very fine, so you can see the skin beneath, and you see kind of a sickly purple begin to spread from the injury. Unfortunately, as with, and I don't think Lyric would be surprised by this, because these things are just like big slabs of meat. You know that neurotoxin doesn't work so fast on giant slabs of meat, but you seem to have done a pretty significant amount of damage.
Geared up for 250-pound person, not 500-pound cat.
Exactly right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Good round. Brings us to the Callops. Okay. So the left and... Okay. Left and center are going to lunge at you, Valentyne. And then right and high are going for Lyric. So
Cool. My melee defense is 4, so add 4
thank you.
black challenge die.
Very good. So we've got
Ooh.
green, 4 challenge die, 1 boost for flanking, and it's melee, so that's that. Waka, 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 waka. Yeah, okay, great. So on the first one, super weird. Okay, so that is 3 failures, 1 triumph, and 2 advantage. So 1 failure, 2 advantage. So the Cal leaps at you. You get your chainsword up into the way. You're not able to really cut through it, but you do kind of toss it off. And then the second one leaps. But the first one we'll say is knocked prone.
Okay.
So slightly easier to hit. And then the other one, same deal, but no longer with flanking. Oh, but it does have... Give it 1 boost for the distraction.
Keep me safe. Refractor field challenge die. Tom, are you muted?
Tom has gone completely quiet for me.
Yes, hey, that was me. Miles just came back with Ripley from a walk, so I was just trying to keep it secret, keep it safe. Okay, so that is those dial out. 2 advantage. I think I'll use that as a thing I pass forward. But ultimately, Valentyne, your refractor field works. You remain unscathed.
Wonderful.
Quite a feat.
Yeah, he just yells, "Damn xenos!"
Given how many days
he's
I had.
working away.
Cool. All right, and then the 2 on Lyric. Lyric, do you have any defense?
1.
Okay. So hold, ranking, 1 defense.
One defense. Also, Tom, I'm accustomed to crowds. This has to be a crowd, right?
A crowd of xenos tigers in here.
I see you're going to be the Adam McNamara of this show, asking if you can brace every time. Laura, riddle me this: if you were playing an assassin, no, we're going with it. If you're playing in an Assassin's Creed game right now, and you walked into this crowd, would you disappear, or would you look like a human standing with a bunch of tigers?
Now
Disappear,
she
100%.
could disappear depending on.
Got my chameleon line cloak. I basically look like another tiger. They're like,
Can
"Oh,
you
hey,
disappear in Assassin's Creed into a crowd of guards who are stabbing you?
I mean, in the early ones, yeah, because they're kind of
Obviously,
janky.
no one here has played Assassin's Creed. You'll believe me.
Whenever a player pulls shit like that, it's always so nice when the dice come up in my favor. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. And
man.
1 advantage. So, om nom nom. Om nom nom nom. Okay, Laura, what is your soak value, please?
My soak is 2.
Soak is 2. Okay, I have Pierce 1. So that means it's only a soak of 1. And from my bite, it doesn't.
It's not crowded enough. I couldn't handle it.
It's a crowd of snowflakes.
Say weirdly worth asking because we're all new to the dice system. Did we add defense dice for Laura? Laura, do you have melee? Oh, damn it.
Yep.
No, I wanted to get that bite lower for you, Laura.
No, this is.
Valentyne in his head is just picturing Lyric in power armor. Like, no one can get to her. He'll just focus on himself for a moment.
Yeah,
and he looks back and goes, "Oh, damn."
No, Laura, 1 sec. Because it's got base damage and then every additional...
7 additional damage.
So, Jesus Christ. So that is...
Guys, I'm just dead.
I mean, it's possible. 1 sec.
I want to create a new character. Come on.
Oh, shit.
Come on now.
Okay, so Laura, you're going to take... good God. 13 points of damage.
Well, am I just dead?
What's your soak?
My soak is 2.
What's your health?
It's got Pierce 1.
So your soak is 1.
Yep.
My sweet sister. No.
My wound threshold is 12. Am I just dead?
I mean, probably not, Laura. That's never happened in any other D&D game.
Well, Laura, he said what?
Damage.
11 damage?
He said
13.
13.
Minus
so you
one
take
is
one off.
12.
So you're 12 and 12. So you're neutral. You go to 0. That doesn't necessarily mean dead.
Give me a minute to look this up.
It means sleepy. You gone sleepy.
Man, we gotta go.
What the fuck, man?
You gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
This gotta activate some like psyker shit in me, right?
Yeah, you become the Dark Phoenix and kill them all.
Yeah.
No, you go into
creative.
shock and pass out.
Okay.
It is worrying at your body, and if it is not dealt with post haste, it will kill you. This is basically like it lands on you, and like again, you're used to. This actually I think makes a lot of sense for Lyric. Weirdly, you're used to like bar fights and like fighting people who actually use tactics, but like. I remember I had an old martial arts sensei who's like the scariest thing is fighting someone who's never trained in fight. It's either like a master of a martial art or someone who's never studied a martial art. So if they've never studied it, you don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. And weirdly, it's this, right? Like you've never fought something with 6 arms that doesn't think like a human. So it's just like mauling you. So yeah, you just get like pounded into the ground and it's like just batting at you. The good news is the other one can't get at you because this one is clearly making a meal, so it continues to prowl in the trees. Top of the round, Valentyne, you see Lyric go down hard, and you see a splatter of blood across the snow. What do you do?
Cool. So he's realizing that this is a lot more desperate than he had originally assumed because he'd thought Lyric was the hard ass, but I think he's realizing at this point that Lyric is possibly squishier than Alto. So keeping Eugene blaring, he's now going to start singing a hymn to the Emperor as he fights these guys off with a chainsaw. It says, "Oh, Emperor, my Emperor, if I die here, you die." And then basically, as he's fighting with the chainsaw with one hand, he's just going to swing his bolt pistol around and try to shoot the guy on top of Lyric in the head.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's nice.
So Ryan, what I'm probably going to do then is give the ones you were fighting an advantage on you next round, since you're ignoring them. But I'll let you go ahead with this shot. So this is close range, so it's 1 purple.
Great.
I'm going to give you boost because it's engaged with mauling Lyric's corpse. So you've got that. You currently have 2 story points available. Oh, 3 story points available.
I've got decent odds, so I'm going to hold off on this. I think, again, this is all coming back. He fought the mutants like this. He remembers the Tyranid servitors. He's feeling thoroughly confident. This is all just coming back to him now.
It's all coming back to him.
That is...
Celine starts blaring. Celine, of course, being one of the... warrior hymn priestesses of the academy.
Yeah, so he pulls the trigger, and with 2 successes, there's nothing like shooting a giant thing right up close as it's trying to do something else.
This is true.
So I do 12 damage with Pierce 2.
That makes all the difference. Okay, so 12 damage, Pierce 2... Yep. Cool. So one of the things that Tremaine never managed to figure out in his xenobiological exploration of the Callops was exactly why there were 2 jaws. But something that you've noticed from Tyranid servitors also after action reports of shooting Nids is when they open their mouth, shoot them down the throat. Works real good. So you manage to just kind of bide your time and just launch a shell directly down the throat of this thing. And there's kind of a muffled like, and just like assorted guts and bone fly out of its sides as the shell erupts inside it. And it slumps down over top of Lyric like a big gross blanket.
Having used the gunshot as just like a beat in his song, he finishes the like catechism he's singing, which is, "Oh, Emperor, my Emperor, protect me, I'm your guy." And then he'll just step to the right over Lyric's corpse, sword and, pistoling where he can.
Cool. So Ryan, you actually did so much over threshold damage to this creature that I'm going to say you can also put a shell into the other one that was prowling. So not the ones you were fighting, but the one that was prowling. It will do the remainder of the spillover damage. So it doesn't take a lot of damage, but it takes a bit.
Cool. Then imagine instead of one shot in the middle, he pulls the trigger 3 times. So it's like da da da, and then it's back in musically. So it's still there.
So then what we'll actually say is it still shells into that one that was over Lyric, but the blast of shrapnel is enough to damage the other Callop nearby.
Beautiful.
Sick. Okay, so.
And then I just yell, he's here! The Xenos are defeating themselves with their skull matter.
Alto, there's still the one up high that you've been aiming at, but you hear just that sound of someone being winded. And here's my question: you think this one that's up top is the biggest threat? Is your carbine scoped, or are you just looking down the barrel?
I think for the range, they're all basically medium range for me, right? We're not.
Yep.
Yeah. So no need for the scope.
Okay, then you see Lyric go down.
Oh man.
So you can aim at, and because again, even though there's a turn order, these things are all kind of technically happening at the same time. You can turn to aim at that one. You'll lose your aim bonus from sighting the one in the tree, or you can aim for the one in the tree. You do see Valentyne walk forward with his pistol out, singing his cool song. What do you do?
No, I think that rocks Alto's world. I think he loses the aim benefit, and he'll swing his weapon around to the one that's closest to Lyric, which is now
the wounded one that just got shrapnel. Okay, great. So you go to sight the one that's on top of her, and then you see its chest explode. But there's another one that growls that awful double bird call next to it. So you swing past, aim at that, and open fire.
Yeah.
So that's 2 purple, because they're kind of at mid-ish range from this distance. I'll give you. I'm going to give you 1 setback because of the psychological. Actually, you know what? Before we roll the shot, let's roll a fear check. Because I feel like Lyric going down is pretty fucking concerning.
Yep.
So we're going to call that it's going to be 4 purple. It's a cool check.
Okay. Should I use a story point here or for my attack?
Honestly, I'd say you can use both. There are 3 available. So
I'll do that.
Separate checks. Yep.
I'll do one here. Sorry, that goes the other way. Okay.
I will give you 1 boost on this, because I think there is a degree of she's so tough, there's no way she could die.
Yeah.
Which isn't something that's visually true right now, as she's being kind of ripped up on the ground. It's just one of the. This is awful, but it's the child parent thing where you're just like, no, they're invincible.
Can't be. It can't be.
Yeah. Like you're expecting her to rise up out of the middle of this tiger like fucking Drax, wearing its skin in just a second.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling.
And sorry, Ryan, you had something you wanted to add, or was that just a story
sorry.
point that you were going to spend on his?
I was just going to spend a story point, but he already did it, so happy.
Good. Yeah. Please do spend those pretty freely. The system is built for us to rig it. Don't worry about whether it's oh man, fate would decree this is true. Just if you're in a bind, burn them down. The game. More. The game isn't balanced otherwise, so.
Yeah. Okay.
There is so much I should have done on that last turn.
No. That wasn't aimed at you. And feel free, again, as we've said, you can spend as many as you want on an individual check, up to kind of the limit of what you've got. The only way we won't spend them is as I undo your thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Laura, no one could have predicted 7 successes.
No,
That's not a strategy.
Even me.
Fucking bonkers.
I have never rolled that way in Star Wars.
Like...
and we had a bunch of Rancors fight some people, and they were 1.
Yeah. My end result is a wash. So I don't know how you want to rule on that, Tom, for a fear check.
I'm going to say it's a temporary affliction, which means 1 setback to your shot. So just add 1 black to your shot. I was going to add it anyway, and then I realized we should roll for it proper. If you'd failed, this would carry forward for a while, and basically until you treated it every time this happened, you'd be like, oh no. But no, this is just a momentary, like, panic.
Okay.
You just go, ah!
It's just lyric. It's just bad. Okay, so I have my my ranged weapon dice loaded up. What's the difficulty of this shot, Tom?
2 purple.
2 purple. I've got my 1 setback. I'm going to use my remaining 2. No, is Laura about to need to roll anything for staying alive?
So there aren't death checks in this so much. There might be in a minute though. I actually don't know yet. We're playing it kind of fast and loose.
Yeah.
Please don't let me die.
If
Well, that's the thing. I'm only going to use 1 so that if you need it, Laura, you've got it.
I would say that's probably a wise call. If it had been over her threshold, she would have been insta-gibbed. But since it isn't, it's at threshold.
Okay.
Then it's at my discretion. So
I don't like this.
I'm discreting.
Okay. Great. So then I will use 1 story point.
Yep.
I think it's that cliche of like yelling while shooting makes you shoot better. I'm just like, lyric, no! Ah! Just like firing.
Admittedly, based on the Psyker rules of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, that is admittedly true of all of the orcs and possibly you as well.
I mean, we have established you're not a psyker, but you think you are, and that gives you it's the placebo effect of yelling.
Okay, I'm rolling. Fuck. Come on. 3 advantages, 3 failures.
No.
Ooh. Okay.
Would this be a miss but drive it back or something, Tom?
Hell no. Failures like that. What I'll say is instead what I think happens is it turns to you, does that sort of like weird bird call roar, and it starts like full on fucking loping towards you. But I'll pass the advantage 1 boost hold to Valentyne because it is now literally running the opposite direction. Keep in mind there is still there's 1 in the trees and there's
injured in the trees, injured charging Tyler, 2 on Valentyne.
Yes.
Great.
Yep. Cool. All right. That brings us to Lyric. Lyric, Laura, can you go ahead and roll me, please, a D100, if you can find that on a dice roller or if you have dice handy. You can also do this while we do other things because it won't immediately matter.
Sorry, gonna pull up dice.
I think the enemy count is we're fighting 3 now. Instead of 4.
One is dead, so there were 3 on the ground, 1 in the trees. I think I miscounted. So 1 in the trees. I don't want to fight
more of these than we need to.
3, 1 is dead, so there are 2 on the ground with Valentyne.
And 1 in the trees.
So there's 1 towards Tyler, 1 on Valentyne, tree.
Yes. And then like a nice cozy blanket on our dead friend Lyric.
Okay. 43.
43. Okay. And then I'm going to add 10 to that because you've already suffered a critical wound. So that'll bring it to 53, which means you've suffered a fearsome wound. You increase the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1 until this critical injury is healed.
Okay.
This does not preclude you dying. This is just the cost of going down.
Yeah, fair.
So on that note, Laura, can you roll me, please, a...
Streetwise.
Let me see.
Perception. Can you see the Emperor's light?
Resilience.
Can you walk away from it?
Resilience, please.
Resilience. Okay.
Which is brawn.
Yeah. Difficulty.
This is your first round, so make it difficulty 1. I think the way we'll play this is it's an escalating scale of difficulty, but
Okay.
you've just been down for a moment.
2 successes, 2 threats.
Yeah, okay. So Lyric, as you kind of drift in darkness, and pain, like considerable pain, you begin to see glimpses of things. You see one of these creatures pin Alto, pull his arm, almost overextend it, and then rip it off. Then you see them begin to feast on his chest. You see Valentyne swarmed by creatures, one of them tearing out his throat. Eugene battered against a tree. You see the woman from your vision, and she takes a finger from each hand and kind of puts them to the sides of her lips and then stretches them up into a smile. And what's particularly horrifying is beneath that, you can see that her actual mouth has not moved. And as you kind of look at Kel's, Cora's, your sister Cora's weirdly smiling face, you, frustrated as you would be with this kind of psyker bullshit, struggle to remain tethered to the pain. So you just focus on the physical sensation of agony in a hope of staying within your body.
I can do that.
Your next round will be harder. Okay. That brings us to the Callops. So, Valentyne, I'm going to give you an interruption round on this, given that one of them is running away. So,
okay, so
again,
I get to like turn my full attention back
basically,
to the other.
think of it in D&D terms. This would be like an attack of opportunity. However, it will... you can do one of two things. You can either turn your full attention back to one of them and reduce its bonuses against you, or you can take a free shot at the one running away, but it will open you up to more attack from the ones that are engaged with you.
I've got one on me. I've got the other guy running away, and there's one.
And the
in
one
tree.
in the trees has been shot by
Yeah, I think he'd shoot the one running away. They need to end this, and like injured people still fight. Dead people don't fight. So a lot of him is just whenever you can take someone out of the equation, you do. So he will fire his bolt pistol because it's already aimed in that direction. After that, what's my difficulty on this, Tom?
I'm going to say difficulty 2, but I'm going to give you a boost because it's fully distracted.
Cool.
There's 1 story point remaining.
I'm going to leave that there. I think, again, his focus is too split.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 1 to raise it to 1 red, 1 purple.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, I'll spend another one. Why not? Because one's bounced back into the camp to keep Laura alive. Alrighty. Oh, that is muy bueno roll. 2 successes, 2 advantage, and a triumph.
Hey, finally.
Excellent. All right, so since these things can't take crits because they're not big enough, we'll just say that you line a shot up, and again, it's moving like a tiger, so it's like just fucking bounding across the ground. The nice thing is that means you've got a straight line through, so you shoot it in the ass, and the round just like drives through this thing and then blows its head out. So Alto, as you kind of like raise your carbine in terror, much like Men in Black, you just see this like Callops, like multi-jaws leap at you and then just burst, spraying you with viscera. And then its body slams into you, knocking you to the ground with a kind of a
Back down to the ground, too. Yeah. Like I just got up.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not worth getting out of bed. Garfield taught me that. All right. So, cool. So that was your free action on that. Brings us to the one that's on you, Valentyne. It is going to attack. Your defense is 2.
4 in melee. God bless that. Emperor bless that refractor field.
Yeah. Okay, so we've killed...
We have injured tree,
center.
1 on me.
Yeah.
Like rhymes, but helps me remember.
All right, 2 for melee. I'm going to spend a story point to upgrade. All right. Shit, son. I am on fire.
No.
All right. So that is 1 triumph, 2 threat. So Valentyne, what's your soak?
3.
3? Okay, so that is, with your soak included, 4 points of damage.
Cool.
But you get a hold of 2 going forward from the 2 threat. So you'll get 2 boost on your next attack against the one that's engaging with you. The one in the trees, Alto, you're not engaged with anything right now, so you see it. The purple, like, toxins are spreading, and one of its eyes you've seen has actually gone, like, completely, like, fuchsia, and you can see, like, kind of a sickly liquid dripping out of it. But you see its tail flick twice, and then almost shift to almost a point. And with it, you see the Calip's head turn, and all of its jaws begin to kind of emit that horrible growl. But it's looking away from all of you. So that is its round. Top of the round, Valentyne. The one that's on you just got a solid strike in, but has left itself open.
Yeah.
I think we'll say it's a full on, like, it bit into your gauntlet. So it's just like one set of jaws is there, the other one is snapping at you, but it means that it's nice and close for, the smacking.
Yeah, I think, so he's got, like, his chainsword arm, and while he's doing this, he just goes, Emperor, thank you for the reminder that I need to train more intensively, and then it's just gun up under it, like, into its bottom mouth, and he'll pull the trigger.
Pop.
Let's see what happens.
This will be a difficulty of 1, because it's so close. Pop what? Pop what?
That is 3 successes and 1 advantage, which means it is 13 damage.
Pop
with Pierce 2.
So yeah, you blast the creature's head off. So its body slumps, and it's still, like, gripped onto you. And then you just, like, use the butt of the pistol, just smack it a couple times till the shake the head off. And the head hits the ground, and that's when from the trees you hear, yeah, for the Emperor! And there's a crack, and a bullet tears through the one in the tree, bursting the eye that Alto had been fixated on, and its body slumps and falls out of the tree. And out of the sort of jungle, and I assume you immediately, like, train your weapons on this guy, but there is a figure wearing just like a Calip cloak that's, like, tied around his neck, and then also tied around his midriff, and then also tied around his waist, because you've got all the arms, why not? And he's carrying an old sniper rifle. But clearly in decent enough condition. It's got an unnecessarily large scope on it, kind of an almost comically large sight. And you, Valentyne, recognize the half helmet. It seems kind of strange because it seems to almost be bound by vines around his face, but kind of almost Phantom of the Opera style. He's got what looks to be part of an arbitrator helmet, so of the Adeptus Arbites, and you can see, like, really, really ragged, almost like half. It's not a full set of Arbites armor, but it's definitely, like, part of the chest plate, and everything is very Mad Maxed or Fallout, like the classic Wanderer thing, where it's like one arm, like he's got one pauldron, and then, like, a bit of the chest piece, but then one arm is just in the cloak. And anyway, this figure comes out. Shaggy, long, like, frost-crusted beard, and he kind of, like, raises the rifle in kind of in the air, and he's like, "Were you the folks that fell from the sky just now?"
Yes, we were. All hail the Lex Imperialis. Are you an arbitrator, as it appears?
Yes, sir. Indeed, I am. And may I ask your rank?
Wonderful. I'm an Inquisitor, so you now work for me. I'm going to need anything on you in terms of a med kit because this person is having a terrible day. And I just point to Lyric.
He just looks down. He's like, "Oh shit! Yeah, all right, hang on." And he like rushes over and just very, very efficiently boots the dead Calip off of Lyric. He's like, "Oh, wow, she got a real maulin', huh? All right, well, hang on." And he kind of leans down. He pulls out a pouch and he just starts packing the wounds with kind of like a weird paste. And he's like, this stuff really smells bad, but it'll help until we can get her back to the visitor center at least. So he finishes doing that, and then he kind of like reaches into his bag and he pulls out what looks to be like an office stapler. He just kind of looks down and he's like, "Sorry, ma'am, this isn't normally how we like to greet people here, but when in Tren," and then he just starts slamming staples into the wounds.
I don't respond because I don't know what the fuck is going on.
So he just like slams a bunch of staples in, and he's like, "All right, yeah, she's in pretty rough shape. You're absolutely right. All right, my vehicle got taken out by a couple of those things a little ways back, but here, follow me. We can probably get one of the old Jeeps up and running." And with that, he begins to kind of lead you. You were close to the vehicle paddock, just missed it by a bit. Sure enough, there's an old kind of busted up Jeep that he loads Lyric into the back of, and turns around and says, "All right, so listen, Mr. Inquisitor, I'm glad I work for you. You'll have to forgive us down here. We've got the traditions have been passed down, of course." But we don't exactly necessarily know all the things that our original arbitrator did. But if I work for you, then I work for you. And if you've got bits, and he kind of looks at Alto like pleadingly, he's like, "If you got bits from your ship, we might all finally be able to get off this hellhole. Is that about right?"
Alto's over Lyric, like holding her hand. He's never seen her in this state before.
Totally. Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have bits, assuming that this fine young woman survives our encounter here, so we'd better hurry to the visitor center.
Yeah, and he's saying all this as he's like getting the Jeep up and running. There's no like, I'm going to stand here and talk. This is definitely like,
yeah.
He's like, well, good. It's in that case, it's my pleasure to serve. My name's Horatio Vegata, and welcome to Tren. And he fires up the Jeep. And the two conscious people and the one slowly dying badass disappear into the jungle.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter as Alto, Laura Elizabeth at EL Hamstring on Twitter as Lyric, and our Game Master Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode was edited by Ryan LaPlante, and the Valentyne Heresy show logo was created by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. That's MRKR. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ads use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, provided by freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. We have merchandise available at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, and most importantly, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, DM Rob, Christopher Little, Olin Anderson, Sue One, Devin Boyce, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Orion Birchfield, Anthony Griffin, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.